you ever click one weird link and suddenly it's 4 a.m. and you're deep in a corner of the internet you didn't even know existed? These stories go way deeper.
Once I spent 6 hours researching how people accidentally join cults, and by the end I was like, yeah, I get how it happens.
During the very start of COVID, I got deep into interactions with the Love Has One cult. Was never gonna join or anything. Was just watching their streams to get an idea of the cult mindset. Anyway, one morning I woke up and turned the news on, and they'd mummified their leader. Fun one that.
Deaths on Mountain Everest. Started as a curious click on a random article, then got pulled into all the documentaries and articles. It's horrifying.
Chernobyl on a number of occasions. Such a fascinating event to study in so many ways. A work project on tokamak reactors pushed me into a criticality accident rabbit hole, and I fell past Chernobyl into the SL-1 accident in Idaho. That is an insane story. I talked about it so much in my social circle. It ended up as an episode of the Stuff You Missed in History podcast last year.
Opened YouTube to check one recipe. For hours later, I'm watching a guy build a pool in the jungle with a stick.
There was a paper boy kidnapped a route over from my paper route in the mid-'80s. I've spent a lot of time reading about him to the point that I've made comments on Reddit and have been contacted by others wanting to interview me about it.
I once spent 3 days reading about abandoned Disney projects, like the whole history of Discovery Island and River Country. By the end, I felt like a ghost employee from 1979.
Was in a Facebook group about loving retro video games, and someone made a relevant post that was also memorializing someone who had committed suicide. I went on the person's Facebook page and spent 3 hours learning about the life and death of a complete stranger on the other side of the country from me, and I was crying, yo. Edit. It's not anyone famous, so I will be keeping their privacy. Sorry, guys. Although the similar stories you've shared have been very touching.
Similar. But the person I ended up learning all about was the most prolific ragtime piano player and improvisers of the modern era, or really, possibly ever. Absolute savant. He was in a car accident, I believe, right before COVID, and ended up with both brain damage as well as paralysis, completely destroying his ability to play piano. Absolutely devastating. I still look him up every once in a while to see if there's any update to his recovery, but fuck, it makes me so sad. Edit for more info from replies. Tom Breyer. Car accident was 2016. He can still play some with his left hand and attend house concerts. Was given a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2023.
Remote and untouched tribes. The uncontacted tribes rabbit hole is wild. Everyone knows about the Sinanalese, but then you discover the Iorio in Paraguay, the Kawahiva in Brazil, or the Korowai in Papua. What gets me is how many we only know exist because of satellite imagery or occasional sightings. There are still people living completely outside the modern world.
A woman once got into an Uber with me. We chatted, and when she left, she told me her first name and her place of work and said, "Come find me." Looking her up felt like stalking her since she didn't have much of an internet presence. Found out why pretty soon. Turns out she was a Columbine shooting survivor. Her name was in the shooter's journal. I even ran across a cached copy of a deleted Tumblr blog that had been tracking all of the girls in that journal. Were they married? How many kids? Where they lived? Truly some of the creepiest shit I've seen on the internet about real people. Worst part is, I could never tell her I knew all of this. A young woman on Reddit said she was going to off herself. Using her post history, I figured out where she lived, where she worked, called, and spoke to someone who knew her IRL. They gave me the name of her boyfriend. Found his number. Turns out that he had broken up with her but still cared, so he went over and stopped her. I was up all night. This was all under a different username from the one I currently use.
I spent like 2 weeks just learning about cephalopods. They're freaky little aliens with unsettling superpowers.
They are really incredible, particularly octopus. The fact that they show such immense intelligence, like hunting strategies and tool use, while having lifespans of average 2 years, is completely mind-boggling. These are learned behaviors, not instincts they are born with. I'm convinced they have types of intelligence that humans can't even comprehend because we don't have it. I feel the same about whales.
I tripped into this weird collection of stories about strange staircases in the woods that you should never ever touch or step on, weird sightings, and strange deaths in the wilderness. It was captivating. I haven't seen it in so long. Found a Twitter post of someone asking for leads on the author of an abandoned book. It related to a town in Ireland, so I tried to find a local news outlet to possibly contact. I got distracted by the obituaries on their website and came across one that had a video link that was about to start streaming. And that's how I ended up watching a random Irish grandma's funeral service for an hour. Sovereign citizens. It all started with either seeing or taking a picture of a strange license plate. And next thing you know, I'm learning all about this crazy movement that I had never heard about. I've forgotten most of it, but I remember there was a big thing about how if the American flag has the yellow fringes on it, it's not a real flag, and it represents maritime law. And that wasn't even the craziest part. There are plenty of hilarious YouTube videos of these nutjobs trying to represent themselves in criminal court cases. The judges and prosecutors always bring the juristic smackdown on them, and it's fun to watch. Cicada 3301. Someone, or some group, posted a string of highly complex puzzles to scout people with the intelligence to solve them. Really interesting stuff.
For what it's worth, I was involved in the original puzzle when it first came out. I didn't make the final cut, but one of the dudes in my IRC chat, Marcus, made it through. He let me know years later that it was a recruiting effort for some sort of cyber freedom task force.
I was hungover and a real old film was on network TV, like Golden Era Black and White I'm Talking. In that film was an eye-catching actress named Loretta Young. The story about her and her infidelity incident, particularly its after effect, with Clark Gable is fucking wild. All because I was too lazy to reach for my remote and change the channel. Wife and I were tripping on mushrooms on Christmas morning, and we fell asleep for a bit after dosing. We woke up to the movie The Family Man with Nick Cage. I was immediately hooked because it has Kate Walsh and she is half in it. We started watching it, and then really kind of melted down. When the fog cleared, and we were in the couch lock stage of being I look over, and a scene was playing that we had already watched. It was fucking weird. Like, we know we are tripping, but what the fuck happened? We both confirmed that we had never watched the movie before and kind of just sat there for a minute rewatching the movie. I got up to make some food, and when I came back out it was happening again. The same scene was playing. It took me 2 or 3 more tries to figure it out. Without spoiling the movie, watch it tripping. It is fun. The plot revolves a bit around what was happening, and the goddamn thing was on repeat on the channel we were watching like they do with A Christmas Story. So, when we fell asleep, we probably heard some of the scenes subconsciously. Then when we really got tripping it had ended and started over. And then time dilation when I was cooking caused me to take longer than normal at something quick, and the movie had restarted again. It was really creepy at first, but fucking hilarious in the end. We never changed the channel the entire day. Holy shit, I have one for this. I had some expired Triscuit crackers. I wanted to know if I could still eat them with some non-expired dip. So I typed it into Google. And one of the top hits is this Shop Savvy site. That's all AI generated. But the other hits are similar. Bargain Boxed. Discover real food in Texas. They're all AI generated blog spam. All built on a very similar template. And all of them are populated with links to other AI generated sites like this. I scraped through a bunch of the links and found that there are more than a dozen different domains in this ring, all linking to each other to game the search results and get top SEO. But I can't figure out why. They aren't running ads and don't have affiliate links. Sourdough Symphony, Trivial Bites, My Kitchen Hacks, Ingredient Savvy, Grain-Free Goodness. All of them using AI-generated text and images. All of them linking to each other. Eventually, I dug into the owners and figured out that they're linked to a company called Ashfound Investments. But that site is also all AI generated. All the members are stock photos. It's all fake, all the way down. All of this to tell me if my Triscuits go bad, seemingly. If anyone has the slightest idea what the purpose behind these sites is, other than contributing further to the dead internet, please let me know. A few years ago, I ended up, somehow, on a Wikipedia list of all US federal prisons. That ended up with me going to every individual site for each prison and seeing who the famous people who had ever been there were. Then, reading up on each individual. It was a huge rabbit hole, but very interesting. No, there are a lot of US federal prisons, and each one has numerous people listed. It took a while.
Do not go and read any article, any at all, on TV tropes. I have spent hours clicking open in new tab and only stopped because I got hungry.
A few years ago, I stumbled into a forgotten corner of the web while trying to find old NASA livestream archives. One link led to a Japanese FTP site that was still online, filled with folders labeled in strange shorthand like STS, 115X, and Orbital Debrief, 1999. Inside were grainy videos and audio logs that seemed real, NASA insignias, launch chatter, and coordinates. But none of the missions matched anything public. Some of the clips even had what looked like internal commentary about visual interference and foreign telemetry signatures. The deeper I dug, the more the timestamps overlapped with actual shuttle missions. Then one day, the whole server vanished, replaced with a 403 error page that had a single blinking underscore in the corner like a command prompt waiting for input. To this day, I've never found anyone who's seen it or heard of it. Even the Wayback Machine skips over it like it was never there. I don't know what I found. Maybe some elaborate hoax. But every so often I get the urge to search those mission codes again. Nothing ever comes up, but every few months, my search history still shows STS-115X sitting there, even when I know I didn't type it. Finding the CIA's archives of MK Ultra and related 60s, 70s weird shit program documents was probably the deepest I've ever gotten. There's thousands upon thousands of pages of just the craziest shit ever, and it's official. I wanted to learn about automobile suspension. Next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and I am an expert on suspension geometry, spring rates, spindles, valving, dampening, coilovers, control arms, camber plates, toe, etc., etc. It was an incredibly fascinating rabbit hole. Okay, I finally have a place to talk about this. I stumbled upon a YouTube video about an entire family that was basically an incest cesspool. Unbelievable amounts of abuse, of all kinds, had been taking place within this family for multiple generations that went on until 2012. It was honestly one of the most disgusting and abhorrent things I'd ever learned about. What's even fucking weirder is, even after this family was discovered, which took decades because they lived out in the middle of nowhere and were isolated from society, multiple family members had active Instagram and social media accounts that were public, with pictures. Like, I went down an entire rabbit hole of at least 10 to 15 different family members' Instagram accounts. Some even had posts with disturbing comments toward each other. I had the thought that these could have been faked, but it was weird that a lot of the pictures uploaded weren't anywhere else online. It was also already proven that an account on TikTok made by a younger member was legitimate, and everything I was finding myself through these social media accounts were extremely bizarre and sad. It's been a while since I came across this, so I may have a few details backwards, but I believe this was the Colt family, known as the Colt clan incest case. And Colt is not their real name. The only reason I went down the rabbit hole of their social media was after finding a random post online that had doxed their real name. The entire thing still feels like a fever dream. It was so disturbing. Appreciate you watching till the end. Hit like, smash subscribe, and drop your rabbit hole stories in the comments. More insane Reddit content coming soon.